Oh, lads. Alright, first deck, 5-color domain. So there's a lot of new domain cards. The domain cards are... They get stronger depending on how many basic land types you have. Stronger in various ways. Like there's a black board wipe that does more damage if you've got more lands. There's a white removal spell that becomes cheaper if you've got more land types. I will show you the cards in just a little... Just a little jiffy. Import, please. Deck successfully imported. I like that. Okay, so you know most of the cards. New cards. Cut down. 1 mana instant. Destroy target creature with total power or toughness 5 or less. Pretty simple, makes sense. Drag to the bottom. Each creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of basic land types among lands you control. So basic land types. So you can't use the pain lands. So we've got like some basics and some triomes. And then we've got the Thran Portal, which is also a basic land type. You just choose one. Sphinx of Clear Skies. 5 mana, 5/5, flying ward 2. We've learned not to disrespect ward on this stream. When it deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among cards you control. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Leyline Binding. 6 mana flash. Domain costs 1 less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control, so we can hopefully get it down to only costing 1. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until Leyline Binding leaves the battlefield. Kami War, we know what that is, and then Herd Migration. Domain, create a 3/3 green beast creature token for each basic land type among lands you control, or for 2 you can discard it, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle, you gain 3 life. Let's go. Let's go! Our first Dominaria opponent. You go first, okay? This seems pretty good. We've got a... So our binding costs 2, right? On turn 2? Insane. Insane, what a card. Oh yeah, you've got a little thing to track the colours. You see it? Ah, white! Achieved! Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we are looking for blue to complete the pie. Anyone hungry for some pie? It's actually playing Trivial Pursuit. I will discard my Herd Migration to search my library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into my hand, and then shuffle, and I will gain 3 life. Alright, 1 mana flash Oblivion Ring coming through. I use cut down on your tracker. See ya. I guess we'll psycho this triome. I mean, it is our 6th land for Kami War. What do we do? Do we cycle or cast? We do have 2 Kami Wars in hand. Let's just play it, man. It's fine. I meant play, sorry, not cast, chat. You can't. You can't cast lands, you play lands. Yeah, I'm fucking chill out, man. Chill out. Is that a binding? It could be an Eiganjo, by the way. To the people with the keen eyes in the chat. Could be an Eiganjo. That's a pass. That's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Banger. So they'll probably remove my Fable token, and then in response, I guess I flash in and boink this guy, so they don't get a token. What's this card? It's kind of like a bad Kalitas, basically. Liliana of the Veil. In my standard. Animations? A little zoop. Where's the sound at, by the way? There's just no sound, or am I deaf? Not mutually exclusive. True. Very true. Cut down killing the tracker before it gets the buff from the token is something I hadn't considered. Excuse me, what the fuck? Opponent, why did you pay 4? You didn't have to pay 4, my friend. -2 mana. That card good? Don't know. Doesn't seem very good. Did we just slam the other Kami War? Good hold up counter and cut down for this guy. In fact, let's do the cut down now, because they can animate a land with this, right? Yeah. They can tap it to make a 3/3 land. And we'd like to hit a bigger target with the Kami War if possible. There's so many triomes in this deck too that we'll actually be able to cycle most of our lands now. 2, 4, 6, 10. There's 13 triomes in the deck, and we can just cycle them all. So we've got some anti-flooding tech. The no manlands thing is weird, huh? It's very weird. Dude, I like our deck already. We're only 1 mana off just hard casting the Herd Migration too. And I mean, 7 mana for 5 3/3s is not very good. But here it is. What you question mark in chat? We can play it if we target the Sorin. We both get to play around removal, and we leave ourselves a good. There's a good target for the stage 2 of the Kami War, right? Bounce that token and force a discard. No, my Herd Migration. Damn it. Okay, well now we bounce the Lily. And, by the way, Kami War, not a legendary creature, can be copied with Fable. Wait, should I bounce the Binding? I bounce Binding to my hand and they discard this, or I can just get rid of Lily. I mean, I would just be using the Binding on Lily anyway. Oh yeah, what am I talking about? This doesn't go to their hand, it goes into play. What the f... Relax, chat, okay? Please relax yourselves. I will copy this. Big dumbass. O-Kagachi! Made manifest! Alright, that's GG. What a deck. What a friggin' deck. They gave us a counter to play around the counter spell, but they didn't realise I've got another one. Man, what a fool. Early concede? That's a ban? That is a ban? Early concede? Reported? Snitched? That was fun. Dude, if we can get this Binding down to being like 2 mana on turn 2 every game, we're gonna feel pretty good. Alright, don't know what this hand is, but let's try it. So we're gonna Thran Portal for green, I guess. Green, please. Thank you very much. Pass the turn. -1. -1. Okay, so we need a mountain off of one of these. I'm not sure what the other one's doing, though. I don't have a second island, which would be nice for the Sphinx, so I guess it's just a swamp. Think migration is a cut? You're crazy, man. It holds the deck together. You wouldn't be able to play it without the herd migration. We don't have the removal spell here for the tracker, but I think that 1 mana black removal makes the tracker kinda bad, right? Oh my god, I picked the fucking swamp. Okay. Well, that was a game-losing mistake. I mean, I didn't actually pick swamp. I was just, like, relentlessly clicking my mouse, as usual. Right, if you're going to play this deck, you got to take your hand off the mouse. Resolve. Resolve. Stop the clicking, man. Just use the spacebar. The spacebar is more effective. It would have been nice to have a Fable in play here, huh? 1 mana binding. Oh my god, this game was a win if I just played the Fable last turn. Fuck's sake. Idiot. Yeah, the binding's great. I think the binding and the migration are amazing cards, man. That's why I'm trying this deck out. What is this? Hasty boy? This is not a counter, huh? So it's a 4-3 next turn. Okay, fine, I'll just take it then. Alright, this one was my bad. I lost it to clicking the mouse. Not dead, yeah, I'm just dead. Because the Kamano flips. Oh my god, alright. GG's, man. You got me. The crazy thing is that, yeah. Alright. Lesson number 1. Deck seems pretty good so far. Lesson number 2. Don't click the mouse. Keep going. Okay, turn 1, Spara's headquarters. And then you can go turn 2, Xander's Lounge, and your binding costs 1. But I guess you don't really need the binding on turn 2, do you? So it might be better to play the Xander's Lounge first for the cut down. And then we'll just use binding for 1 mana later in the game. So go this one first. Can't believe it costs 1 already, man. It's kind of insane. Trivial Pursuit complete. Excuse me. I don't know what color this is, though. I've got 2 Grixis, huh? And I've got a Herd Migration. So white, that gives us our second white, and then we can use Herd Migration to get a forest. I must have been able to use Herd Migration there, but I mean, they're obviously playing a protection deck, so I done it in that order so that I could respond with Cut Down. And then if they had a protection spell, the removal spell that worked would be the one that actually killed it instead of the one that put it under here. So this was to be a forest, I believe. Okay, now I think we can just start cycling these triomes. All right. We've got 2 white, 2 green, 3 blue, 2 black, and 2 red. So I think we take another black. We cycle this next triome. We're just trying to find our proactive cards now. We're trying to find our Kami Wars. We're trying to find our Sphinxes. We're trying to find our Wandering Emperors, our Fables. This is another green, I think. No, it's a red. Removal and land tribal. Well, I've got 16 proactive cards in the deck. We haven't found, they're all in the bottom 40 cards, so we're just waiting for one of those 16. Don't know where they are, but if we cycle enough triomes, we'll surely find one. Any payoffs for being a 5-color player? I don't mind drawing all this removal, though. Don't mind that at all. God, the binding is so fucking sick, isn't it? Sure. Why drag over more hooks? Well, I think hook's better, but I'm just trying it out, man. Bro, where are these? Dude, 4 Kami Wars, 4 Sphinx, 4 Fables, 4. I guess I've only got 2. I did cut some Wandering Emperors, that's fair, but still. 14 of my payoffs. There we go. Sphinxy. What up? Get him. Okay, rude. I get to draw though, right? I mean, that's fine. Yo, does this card just suck or what? I mean, you see it in action, it seems pretty bad. Seems pretty bad. It seems like it would be nice, at least on like turn 4, but it's pretty awful after that, huh? The Sheoldred just doesn't really do enough, man. It's pretty disappointing. Having all these triomes to cycle is fucking sick, mate. Okay, you actually really need to watch out for auto-tapper, huh, with these pain lands. Because I'm left with no make disappear here, where I could have had it available. I think you've got to manually tap your, especially in this like 5-color deck. Yeah, dude, I like our deck, man. It seems nice and well-rounded. And I also like that we can draw a lot of cards, but yet just have no chance of ever flooding. Because half of our lands are triomes. It's just constant gas once you've got the enough of each color. Okay, we'll cast this once. What have we got? 8 mana. Cast that once I've got 1 more land so that we can make sure we're holding up this counter spell. Heard now? There's no need to, man. We're playing the big boy mid-range deck. We're not in a rush. Opponent is the one in the rush. Sphinx, non-legendary, by the way. Can be copied. Okay, I choose pile 1. I like pile 1 there. Discard 3? What the f... I don't want to discard 3. Huh? Okay, I mean, I guess I'm discarding a Fable. Nice counter up. I know, man. You've got to be careful with these Thran portals. Would Slowgurk be good in this deck? Nah, I think it's too... When we start cycling the triomes too late in the game for Slowgurk to be good, right? Well, we don't have any of our 8 1-mana removals this time, so we might lose this game. But I would never mull this hand, so I can't mull it. Can't use that information to my advantage. That would be unfair. So we've got an Esperland, we take a green, we pass. So this Ivy ability only works whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy the spell and it targets Ivy. So it's not really scary unless they have a second creature. Give me a red. God, the herd migration is just so important, man. Alright, so I want to keep a triome with white, so I'll get rid of these other 2. But they didn't do anything? I should probably remove this Ivy here, right? And I know I'm trading, I know I'm going to lose my Wandering Emperor, but we don't want them to go off. We saw last game that we're pretty comfortable if we can reach the late game, so let's just not get rolled by any weird snowball creatures. It's time to go to the Kami War Chat. I mean, Ertai is not exactly the type of creature you want to be bouncing with a Kami War, but hey. I guess it's okay to bounce it now if they've tapped out, right? There's your removal spell, fucking finally. Alright. That's way too greedy. We could bounce our own Kami War back to hand again, but let's do a submit 0. The Thran portals are painful. Well, that's why we've got a lot of life gain in the deck, man. They're okay. But this card kind of sucks, huh? Maybe it's just bad against our deck, but it seems bad. But like, if it was going to be good against a deck, it should be good against mine, right? Like, I've got to be playing one of the better decks for that. Because I'm just playing a ton of big cards. Alright. Let's try one more and then we'll try the next 5-color deck. This is a good starting point. I think this 5-color deck seems good enough to work on it, man. I don't think this deck is a delete. What do you think, chat? Delete, yes or no? Gruul seemed pretty strong. Yeah, but we had I had one less removal spell than I should have had against Gruul. And also that other game I just fucking didn't even... I done my lands terribly, man. Anvil, yeah, we've got 2 cut down and 1 binding, so I could have turn 2 binding here, but seems better to just do cut down first. And then we'll have the binding and the cut down. One mana binding, turn 2. Yeah, but I don't actually have a white source up. I could have had a white source up, but... Oh, these are Raffine's towers, man. For some reason, I thought these were both Xander's lounges too. Okay, I could have had cut down and binding. Alright, that's my bad. By using them, I wouldn't have all 5 types. Raffine's Tower, turn 1. Yeah, I've got no way to get red and green, huh? That's fair. Fable's is gross. I know, man. I mean, we play 4 Fables too, right? A lot of games of standard after rotation are going to come down to who drew the Fables. This is the Pain Land, Sulphurous Springs. You can either make colorless land, colorless mana, or you can pay 1 life to get a black or a red. Drag to the bottom. Oh no. Oh, what an awkward turn. But if I really want to board wipe, obviously. But then they get a lot of Weatherlight triggers. So I could Kami War the Weatherlight first, and then board wipe next turn, but then they get a Kiki-Jiki trigger. Or I could just Kami War the Reflection and maybe bounce the Weatherlight, I don't know. I feel like I've got to Kami War the Kiki-Jiki, right? Give them triggers. They get 3 scries, man. It's important to try and make them not get that, I think. I think we made a good choice because we got to keep this flyer. Bounce Lily, but then I mean, my Sphinx just dies, right? I guess at least I get to keep the Kami War. We should play that land. Playing the land turns on our herd migration. Nice flyer. Yeah, but I get to keep this flyer, man. Pretty important. Alright, counter spell. Very bad top deck when a Lily's in play. Although I guess if they've got a playable card, they will use it first, so then I guess it's actually fine. It's only bad if they draw a land, right? And if they draw a land, that's kind of fine. So O-Kagachi gets a non-land card back. Binding. All right. Binding Weatherlight, attack Lily, or Binding Lily, attack face. I'm a face kind of guy, to be honest. I'll do this now, of course. All right, close game. I was just thinking I can just use that cut down because we're going to get another one next turn, but I guess they'll give me the counter spell, right? Binding should be good in 3-color decks as well. I don't know, man. It's not that good if you have to pay 3 for it, right? You could play like a 3-color deck and play like off-color triomes, but you won't be able to consistently get it down to cost 1 enough. It'll just cost 3 most of the time anyway. So I disagree. I think it's a 5-color card. Or 4 colors. Like 4, if you're playing a 4-color deck, you can get that 5th color in your mana base a lot easier. Or a lot more copies of it, right? Ecuador! Ecuador!